My friends on the left are at it again, trying to tell conservative women how to think, trying to pressure them by calling them every name in the book, calling them weak, traitors to their gender. When I heard that, I thought, that doesn't seem right to me. Because when I look in this audience, I see women who are strong, smart, independent. Women who make good decisions and vote the way they think is right. We started out with 18 people in the back room of an Agoura Hills restaurant. And now, the Jewish Republican Alliance is filled one of the largest temples west of the Mississippi with the leading conservative thinker in America, Dennis Prager.
So the story of America needs heroes, and I submit to you, a lot of the heroes are in the audience tonight. Because America needs heroes, right? Because now more than ever, conservative activism is needed. The Jewish Republican Alliance exists to unite and energize conservatives to take action in behalf of America and Israel. And as Dennis is fond of saying, we need fighters, and we need those who support fighters.
You really did write
I did write that.
All right. Just checking, Detective Prager at work. It really was written and even signed by Mitch. A man who signs his own question is my kind of guy. All right, let me tell you something. Here's my view on the Jewish Republican Alliance and on the places that do good work. I say it on the show every day. There are two types of people who do good. The ones who do the good and the ones who help the ones who do the good. Not everybody's a fighter, but everybody can help the fighters. These guys are fighters. So if it means joining them, if it means sending them money.
All right, everybody. So last night, the Jewish Republican Alliance had this terrific event. 1,200 people, nearly all Jews. The reason I mention nearly all Jews is that Jews are on the left, generally. Southern California, like all of California, or at least all of urban California, is profoundly left-wing, and there were 1,200 people there. If I've ever spoken to a more excited audience, I don't recall it. How many times did people stand up during the talk last night? I'm looking at the living martyr who was there. It was almost like calisthenics. That's how often people stood up to cheer. Because they're surrounded, all these people, they're surrounded by people who are on the left. And then to just see so many young people were there.
We're uniting and energizing conservatives to take action on behalf of America and Israel. We are creating communities like this one with our chapters and the focus on fellowship, education, and networking, and bringing important speakers to help educate our members and our guests, building friendships and business connections. Any one of you could walk up to almost anybody in this room. If you don't know them, you can probably make a friend in 2 minutes because you have so much in common.
But it has been really heartening. I mean, I see in the room here so many fellow warriors because we cannot do this alone, but we're all on the same path, but coming at it from different angles. So we have Rebecca Friedrichs here standing up to Goliath. She's a future JRA speaker. Obviously, we have the CEO of PragerU. We have Gary Amanoff, who is the chairman of the board of the American Freedom Alliance. And I know Tom, so I mean, we have so many people here, so you are not alone.
The Democratic Party today is not our parents' Democratic Party. It has moved, lurched to the far left on campus and even in religious life. And so Jewish Republicanism is the rational center-right and conservative response to a Democratic Party that is not John F. Kennedy, Scoop Jackson, Joe Lieberman. Jewish Republicanism offers young people the chance to have independent minds, to support the party which is viscerally and practically pro-American, supporting the U.S. military, supporting the U.S.-Israel alliance, supporting American leadership for peace and human rights and security here and around the world. It should be welcomed by the Jewish community at large to see a thriving, growing Jewish Republican alliance.
JRA condemns the hatred and bigotry that led to this violence. There is no place for it in civilized society. The United States of America has always been and continues to be a beacon of religious freedom and a blessing for the Jewish people. The Jewish Republican Alliance calls on all Americans to unite and pray for our 11 brothers and sisters who lost their lives, as well as their grieving families who need our love and support.
Before there was effective treatment for fighting HIV itself, he was known in the community for keeping us alive the longest, CARE said. Thank you, Dr. Rabinowitz, for having always been there during the most terrifying and frightening time of my life. Susan Blackman said she knew Rabinowitz for 35 years. He was a family doctor for her and her 3 children, and she said she saw him every quarter. He was like a member of the family, she said. I can't imagine the world without him.
Rose Mallinger. Friends and relatives say the 97-year-old Squirrel Hill woman lived for her family. She regularly attended Tree of Life with her daughter Andrea, who was injured in the shooting. And despite her age, Mallinger was spry, vibrant, and full of life. To Bubby, she said, family was everything. She knew her children, her grandchildren, and her great-grandchild better than they knew themselves.
This is definitely a blessing to be all here together. It's so nice to have the church open up its doors to us and come together as a community. The one small distinction I would make, the word tragedy gets thrown around quite a bit. When I think of tragedy, I think of an earthquake, a tree falling, a car accident. To me, this was an act of evil. And it's just an important distinction I think that we should be made aware of. There's always something good to come of it. Tonight is proof of that.
But anti-Semitism is not new to us. But every day I realize how grateful and blessed Jews are to be living in America, the greatest country ever founded.
I've been involved with the Jewish Republican Alliance because having a community that understands the issues is so important. We're out there, we're living our lives, doing whatever we do, but having an organization that understands the existential threats that are faced by Jews, by Israel, and frankly, by America and Western civilization as a whole is fundamental. And being able to be part of that community is so heartening. It gives us all a feeling of inspiration, of fellowship. And the group, as I've discovered, really values knowledge, it values contemplative thought, it values the fellowship of feeling, of recognizing everything that's important, and it's been a delight to be part of.
The importance of the Jewish Republican Alliance, because it's grassroots. There are others out there, and I respect them, and I'm friends of them, but they're top down. They come from Washington, D.C., and they do very important work, but it's at that level, whereas this group is grassroots, and I think that's the reason for its success. Is it just started out as a handful of people telling a handful of people telling a handful of people, and because of that, it's in the community, it's people you know, it's people that you can not only relate to, but you can turn to. There are things that we can do outside of this organization because we've met each other inside this organization.
It is so important for people to get involved with the Jewish Republican Alliance because we lack a strong knowledge base, sort of a brain trust, if you will, of conservatism. And the Jewish Republican Alliance allows for that. We've got so many people that are so brilliant in what they do in their day-to-day lives. You add in conservatism in that and the discussion of conservative values, it's mind-boggling that this hasn't existed before, but it will blow your mind if you do join.
I feel like everybody is very real. It's an environment where I can feel safe and talk about things that maybe I can't with other people. It feels like a community, a family. Everyone's very kind and loving, and so yeah, I really enjoy it.
An organization like the Jewish Republican Alliance is very important because it really brings like-minded people together, and I was so fortunate to be introduced to it 2.5 years ago, almost at its inception, and it's just amazing how it grew, and I enjoy every minute being part of it.
What's impressed me about the JRA events is the people that come, their willingness to express their opinions, and they all would like to help. They all want to belong because we're all working for the same cause.
I recommend all of my friends, people I know, people I don't even know, to become a member of the JRA because we get together, we have a great time, we meet great people who have the same values as we have and want the best for our country.
I do want to talk with our good friends from the Jewish Republican Alliance. I've got with me Bruce Karasik and Mitch Silberman, who created the Alliance about when, guys? About 1.5 years ago?
March 2016.
March of 2016.
Fantastic. Well, tell me, what was the impetus of creating this wonderful organization?
Well, as Jewish Republicans, we feel like minorities within a minority within a minority in California. And really 18 of us got together and said, this is ridiculous. We feel so isolated and alone, and can't we just have some fellowship? Can't we just, as it were, come out of the closet and share our values and share our views?
We really thought there was a need for a grassroots approach to have local people get together to speak about important issues and feel comfortable that they can do that in a setting that they can have their voices heard and not to be interrupted and put down.
Well, yeah, but look, I mean, the grassroots, and that sounds nice. There are grassroots organizations, and there are grassroots organizations. Yours just took, this is the reason why I have you on my show. I just don't understand it, why it took off so friggin' well. Go ahead.
We've tapped into something because all of us have known people for years, and we were afraid to admit that we're Republicans. And once it was found out, we said, me too. And it's not enough to be upset with what's going on. There's too much at stake for our country, for our state, for Israel, and it's time to do something about it. And it's time to be a happy conservative warrior, as one of your colleagues puts it. It's not enough just to be upset and concerned at our culture, what's going on. We need to promote the Judeo-Christian values that founded this great country.
In a society where people are taking a knee right now, we're standing up for America and standing up for Israel.
That is fantastic. I love that. And what is so great about your organization, guys, JewishRepublicanAlliance.org, thank you very much. That is an organization that shares those values. You go to any meeting of the JewishRepublicanAlliance.org, and you will see a wide swath of different people. I love that, but I don't even notice it at the end of the day. I noticed it kind of by happenstance. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of different people here.
That's right. It's a special group of benches. Yeah. We love America. We love Israel. And we want to do what's best for our country, promote the Judeo-Christian values. I love what Bruce said. It's time to take a stand for America and Israel.
One of my most favorite and memorable experiences at JRA is seeing Larry Elder speak. That was truly exciting. He's an incredible speaker. It was packed. The energy was off the charts. I mean, being able to come to a place where there's 1,000 Republicans in Los Angeles in one place to see a very esteemed and incredible speaker was just very special. I got to sit up front. I got to cheer. I got to, see Larry and meet him. And it was a very cozy community feel that I haven't felt anywhere else, especially not in Hollywood.
With your host, Joy Villa.
Welcome to the Joy Villa Show. Today's special guests are Bruce Karasik and Mitch Silberman, co-founders of the Jewish Republican Alliance. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Hi, Joy. Thanks for having us.
Very excited to be here.
This is going to be great.
It's amazing how much we have in common.
Yes.
Because we've found this over the years that most Jews are not conservatives. They're leftists or liberals.
Yeah.
And we found that in the African American community, it's the same thing.
Right.
And so when we talked the other day, we realized like how much we have in common, and that's why I have so much admiration for you.
I love MLK Jr.'s message, which is, I dream of the day when my children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character.
Yes.
And today, if you say, I don't care about your color, now you're the racist.
Right.
The very people that are so obsessed with race are the ones that's all they see in a person.
That's right.
Whereas conservatives say, I'm curious who you are. What are your values? What are your characteristics? What do you believe in? What do you defend? What are you repelled by?
Yeah.
So it's racist is just a catchphrase to shut people up.
It really is, Mitch.
So my question is, what can you do to capture this energy? Because now more than ever, conservative activism is needed. So I ask you, what can you do? Well, for starters, you're here tonight. Coming to events like this is very, very important. You can join substantial organizations like, I don't know, JewishRepublicanAlliance.org, okay? Well, whatever your reason for being here, if you're Republican, we're thrilled you're here. If you're Democrat, we're thrilled you're here. If you're Independent, we're thrilled you're here. If you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, atheist, Mormon, we are thrilled. You're always welcome at JRA events, so thank you for being here. So there is so much at stake for our children and our grandchildren. And now more than ever, we need you to get involved. We need you to join, because conservative activism is what's really needed to get this country back where it needs to be.
Bruce and Mitch are incredible leaders. They're not just founders of an organization, they're actually hands-on. They come to every group meeting, every event. They make sure that people know about who's coming in. They make sure to be active in the community. And that's really important, especially in a city like Los Angeles, which can feel lonely and far away. Mitch and Bruce, they're only a phone call away. They answer my questions. They let me know who's going to come. They let me bring guests. The tickets are always, affordable and incredible. And there's opportunities to even meet the speakers, which I really like. They make it feel like a family. It's always a love fest when I come out to an event. And that's because of the founders. So if you haven't joined, what are you waiting for? Come check out the speakers. Come to one of the VIP events. This is the place for you, for everyone.